Welcome to 10-Minute Book Club. We are on page 22, which is we're continuing chapter 2. Started my timer. All right. Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist and author Thomas L. Friedman advises, so whatever you plan to do, whether you plan to travel the world next year, go to graduate school, join the workforce, or take some time off to think, don't just listen to your head. Listen to your heart. It's the best career counselor there is. Do what you really love to do, and if you don't know quite what that is yet, well, keep searching, because if you find it, it will bring that something extra to your work that will help ensure you will not be automated or outsourced. It will help make you an untouchable radiologist, an untouchable engineer, or an untouchable teacher. If you never figure out what you want to do, you will probably be frustrated all of your life. Author Stephen Covey observed, I love Stephen Covey. Have you read his book? 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I bought the one for Ellie, 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teenagers. Oh, it's like changed a lot. She's doing so good. Okay, anyways. How different our lives are when we really know what is deeply important to us. In keeping that picture in mind, we manage ourselves each day to be and to know what matters most. Knowing yourself and what you want to do is one of the most important things you'll ever do in this life. Number 3, can you do what you would like to do? When I was a minister, I once had a young man named Bobby working for me. He was my worship leader. If you're unfamiliar with that role, it's the person who prepares the music for a Sunday service, leads the other singers and musicians, and actually leads the congregation in singing. I could see that Bobby was an unhappy person, and I suspected that he would rather be doing something different. So one day, I sat him down for a heart-to-heart talk. He confessed that he was really unhappy. I asked him, Bobby, what would you like to do? He hesitated a moment and then confided, I'd really like to be the announcer for the Chicago Cubs baseball team. All I could think was, you're going to be unhappy for a very long time. He didn't have the skills to do that job. Even if he did, the job wasn't available. I told him he needed to find something more realistic that aligned with his gifting and opportunities. There's a big difference between having a dream that propels you to achieve and pulling an idea out of thin air that has no connection with who you are and what you can do. I feel so strongly about helping people with this problem that I wrote a book about it called Put Your Dream to the Test. Ooh, never read that book. You must have some kind of criteria for knowing if the desire you have matches the abilities you possess. Warren Bennis has also developed something to help people with this issue. He offers 3 questions you can ask yourself to identify if what you want to do is possible. Ask yourself, do you know the difference between what you want and what you're good at? These 2 things don't always match up. I believe that was the case for Bobby. What he wanted and what he could do were 2 very different things. To be successful, you need to be doing what you're good at. I will say this is one difference between John Maxwell and Brendan Burchard, who does the high performance habits. He actually says you don't have to just stick to what you're good at. And it's really interesting to see like the exact changes. He talks about habits and anyways, it's interesting. I don't know which one I agree with more, but I do like seeing the 2 opinions. Do you know what drives you and what gives you satisfaction? Sometimes people get it in their heads to do something for the wrong reasons. Also, sorry, as well. If you guys ever have anything to say, you can totally interrupt me. So just feel free to add comments. Maybe the job they want doesn't look like hard work when in fact it is. Or they want the rewards that come with the job, not the work itself. When what motivates you lines up with what satisfies you, it is a powerful combination. Do you know what your values and priorities are and what your organization's values and priorities are? The more you can align these 2, the greater your chance of success. If you and your employer are working at cross purposes, success will be difficult to achieve. Measuring the differences between what you want and what you're able to do, what drives you and what satisfies you, and your values and those of the organization reveals many of the obstacles between you and what you want to do. At that point, the question you need to ask yourself is whether you are able to overcome those differences. One of the main keys to being successful and fulfilling your purpose is to understand your unique talents and to find the right arena in which to use them. Some people have an inherent ability to know who they are and who they're not. Others have to work hard to make those discoveries. Poet and critic Samuel Johnson observed, "Almost every man wastes part of his life in attempts to display qualities which he does not possess. Your goal should be to waste as little of your time as possible. As former MLB catcher Jim Sundberg says, discover your uniqueness, then discipline yourself to develop it." Number 4, do you know why you want to do what you would like to do? I believe it's very important not only to know what you want to do, but also why you want to do it. I say that because motives matter. When you do things for the right reason, it gives you inner strength when things go wrong. Right motives help you to build positive relationships because they prevent hidden agendas and incline you to put people ahead of your agenda. Doing something for the right reasons also keeps life less cluttered and your path clearer. Not only is your vision clearer, but you also sleep well at night knowing you're on the right track. This is kind of like what we were talking about with your mom, Shannon, huh? Like we were talking about money and how sometimes it's hard to do this job when we think, oh, we just want to serve, we don't want to be paid for it, like that's bad. But when you can align that, no, it's okay, like we're helping our family, we're helping other people with finance, it's all great. The work that I do is a calling on my life. When I lead or communicate, I think I was born for this. It relies on my strengths. It gives me energy. It makes a difference in the lives of others. It fulfills me and gives me a touch of the eternal. I will say, just going back to what I was talking about before, when I teach piano, I can see the kids who are inclined to piano and I can see the kids who aren't. And honestly, like most of the time, it comes down to if they practice or not. So it's like they can have the talent all day long, but if they're not practicing, they're not going to progress nearly as fast as if, you know, and I know this because when I was young, I wouldn't practice as much as I should have. And I could fudge the lesson. Like I could go, to the next thing, but I wasn't like progressing as I should have if I was practicing. So I just feel like they go hand in hand. Okay, I believe you can have the same kind of satisfaction and can experience success if you do the things you were meant to do and do them for the right reasons. Take time to reflect. Explore your intentions and attitudes. As psychiatrist Carl Jung advised, your vision will become clearer only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens. Ooh, that's good. The first 4 questions you should ask yourself to relate what you want to do. As I said at the beginning of the chapter, you must know yourself to grow yourself. That's the law of awareness. But I want to help you to do more than just know what to do. I want you to have a sense of how to start moving in that direction. That will help you to target and eventually fine-tune your growth. With that in mind, the remaining questions will help you to create a game plan. Number 5, do you know what to do so you can do what you want to do? To move from what you're doing now to what you want to do is a process. Do you know what it will take? I believe it begins with awareness.
I can read if you want.
Oh, sure. Thanks.
Okay, starting with awareness. Darren Hardy, the publisher of Success Magazine, says, picture where you are in any area right now. Now picture where you want to be. Richer, thinner, happier, you name it. The first step toward change is awareness. If you want to get from where you are to where you want to be, you have to start by becoming aware of the choices that lead you away from your desired destination. Become very conscious of every choice you make today so you can begin to make smarter choices moving forward. You cannot change direction if you aren't aware that you're not headed where you want to go. That probably sounds obvious, but have you taken the time to look at where your current choices and activities are taking you? Spend some time really thinking about where you're presently headed. If it's not where you want to go, then write out what steps you need to take to go where you desire to go, to do what you want to do. Make them as tangible as possible. Will they definitely be the right steps? Maybe, maybe not. but you won't know for sure until you start moving forward, and that takes us to the next phase. Action. You cannot win if you do not begin. The people who get ahead in the world are the ones who look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, they make them. That means taking initiative. It means doing something specific every day that will take you another step closer to your goal. It means continuing to do it every day. Nearly all successes are the fruit of initiative.
Love this one. So it's hard sometimes, huh? It
Yeah.
beeped. If you didn't hear it, I'm sorry. You only got to read for a minute. It's so true, and I feel like everything in our bodies want us to not do that. It's like, no, I need to figure it out before I do it. Like, that seems smart, right?
Or take the easy way out.
Yeah. Or take the easy way out. Yeah, either one. I know, like with laundry though, like when I'm really backed up with laundry, all I want to do is like sort it. But if I just get started, like it'll already be starting to get washed, you know? So, anyways, good
I
book.
was thinking of that with eating, like eating habits,
Yeah.
and like how every little thing takes you one direction or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's easier to just grab something not good for you and just eat quicker.
Yeah.
And it takes more effort and more planning to eat healthier sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So that, to me, that's kind of where my mind went, was using it towards being more successful in my health
Yeah.
choices.
It's food. Yeah, I totally agree. I know yesterday I finally stuck to my evening food plan. I just kept like cheating and being like, oh, like this won't make a difference, like telling myself. And last night I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna brush my teeth after my, smoothie at dinner. And I did, and I sat and ate dinner with family. I didn't eat dinner. They ate dinner and I sat and watched them eat dinner and just whatever. And I told myself that's okay. Like I can still bond with my family if I'm not eating dinner. Anyways, and I did it, and it wasn't super comfortable because I wanted to eat all night long.
Oh,
But I wasn't like starving. It was like going back to my habits,
yeah.
of like eat snacking in the evening. And I like lost an extra pound this morning. I'm like, okay, fine, I guess it works. I guess I should stick to my plan.
Congratulations, I'm glad it worked.
Yeah, just gotta stick to my plan. All right, y'all. Time to seize the day.